Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Dwarf Fortress in the Brightmines. Or is it at the Brightmines? I'm not really sure. I am Sir Tristan. In the last episode, we continued working on our fort, as always. As you can just kind of see, I'm going through the progress here. We're digging out some areas. We got our bedrooms hooked up now, so they will start to be dug out pretty soon. And it's time now to start thinking about defense. We're getting to the point soon where we're going to have some sneaky creatures come in and try to steal food, try to steal other things, might even try to steal some of our dwarf babies. And we want to prevent that. And there's several different ways to go about it. The way that I want to start is by going to this kind of open area here that I've set aside, and I want to build a mechanism or a mechanics workshop. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to kind of get rid of these rocks, and I don't really care where they end up. Now you can set it up to where like every single rock is on a single tile. So if we wanted to be kind of cheaty, we could stack them all right here, every single rock in the whole fort, on one tile, but I don't really like doing that. I like to leave kind of things a bit more organic, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually just going to hide all of these rocks. They will still be here, and dwarves will still interact with them completely normally, but I won't have to look at them, and so my fort will look much cleaner than it actually is, which is fine for me. I want my fort to be readable more than anything else, because again, the interface and the tile sets, only make the game look so good. So the way that you do this, and remember, turn on annotations if you don't know the keys that I'm about to press and you need to see them on screen, and I will make sure that the annotations have those on screen. But what we're looking for up here is we're looking for D, designations, D. And then you've seen this menu before. Use things like mine, chop down trees, gather plants, things like this. But what we're looking for here is, looking for D, and then B, set building item property. So D, B. And then we're looking at lowercase h, hide item / building. So if I press H, I can move my cursor over. And just like everything else, press enter once, go to where I want to stop, press enter again, and you can see it highlighted in blue each one of these rocks. When we go back out of that menu, you can see every rock is hidden. Pretty cool. If we go to the K, which is the look menu, or if we go to K, and we find a tile, there you go. So you can see right here in the upper right, it still says granite. So there is still a granite boulder here, but there's a capital H, meaning it's hidden. So it's still there, it still exists in the world, but in our game, we're not seeing it. So that's D, B, H. And then when I entered that hide menu again, you see they all came back. Now let's say I did that, whoops, it was an accident. I actually wanted to see these. I go D again, B, and at the very bottom, capital H will unhide things. So I press capital H, press enter, go to my stop point, press enter again, and the blue highlight disappeared. Exit out of the menu. Whoops, one too far. And now they're all back again. Sweet. So again, DBH to hide. Gonna hide all of these like so. So now when I have my dwarves build in this room, it'll be nice and clear. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the build menu and then W into workshop, and we are looking for a mechanics workshop right here, which is going to be T. And I'm going to place it right here. I always like to leave at least one tile of walking space around every single workshop, and I think that's let me line it up. Well, there's actually going to be 2 here, but that's fine. We'll do that. I have 76 granite, so let's go ahead and do that. Because now that I have so many things to build with wood, I kind of want to reserve that. And I don't want to chop down more wood than I have to, because that might make some people angry in the future. But I've got my mechanics workshop right here. And just like every other workshop, let's go back again. We need a specific job in order to build this. We need the mechanics job. And if I jump over to Dwarf Therapist, there we go. Right here, Lock. I have Lock set up as my mechanics guy, or my mechanism guy. I think we did that about an episode or two ago. And so now when we unpause, he should run down. Hey, there he is. And he's moving things around, and he's building it. What? Construction inactive. Lock, what are you doing, buddy? He's stopping to harvest some plants. I'm actually fine with that because plants do go to waste, remember, on the vine. So I'll never get mad at a dwarf for doing a harvest plants job. Okay, so the mechanics workshop is done. And now I want to set up, let's go, where did we build that? There we go. You can see we have these dwarves carving out this gigantic space. Autumn has come. There you go. You can see down at the bottom. We may get some more migrants pretty soon. We'll see. Not sure. But I'm carving out this gigantic space in the soil because I want to start setting up a temporary gigantic storage space. And this might be permanent. Who knows? We do that just by doing stockpiles. As you remember, press the P key. And you know what? I'm going to have to look up something on the wiki because I've kind of forgotten. Mechanism. Is a mechanism a finished good? Where does it sit? Where does it sit? Trying to see what kind of stockpile it goes in. Stock pile. I bet it's a finished good. I bet that's what it is. Finished goods. Mechanism? Nope. What about furniture? Hey, there we go. So I need a furniture stockpile to store mechanisms. And remember, the reason why I'm looking stuff up on the wiki live, I could have done this beforehand, right? Because I knew I was going to be talking about this. But the reason why I like to do it is to get you in the habit of seeing it. Because that's something that you need to do as well, is to keep that wiki open. So that you can look up anything you're not sure of. The wiki is so fantastic for that. Alright, so let's build a furniture stockpile. We need to press U. We're going to make it a pretty decent size. Let's see, what's the... I think shift to 10, that's way too much. Bring it back to 5. There we go. Change the settings, and looks like this can handle all kind of furniture and siege ammo. So this would be floodgates, hatch covers, doors, which we always make some. Thrones and tables, which we always make some of. Bins, barrels, so all the bins and barrels that are empty will go here. All kinds of stuff. And there should be mechanisms in here somewhere. There it is. Mechanisms. Cool. So we are going to add a task at the mechanics workshop. Press T to make some mechanics. Set it to repeat as always, and Alt W to open up workflow. I've called it workforce like 100 times, I think. But workflow is what we're looking for. Workflow. We're going to add a limit. And we want mechanisms of any material, not just stone, not just rock, any material. And I think my high count is actually going to be pretty high for this. Let's see. We will shift R to add a range. Let's do less than 5. More than, you know what, maybe just the default 5 to 10 would be good. So that's fine, we'll do that. We're going to unpause it, and Lock should get to work pretty soon. Constructing mechanisms. Very cool. While he is doing that, I'm going to go ahead and hit P to go to stockpiles. We're going to add an animal stockpile. Let's just make them all the same size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was pretty sure it was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go to not food, not furniture. Corpse stockpile, we don't want to do that inside. Refuse, we don't want to do inside either. Wood and stone we have already. Gems, we could do a gem stockpile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A bar and block stockpile, we could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A cloth, and I'm just going down the list here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A leather stockpile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ammo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coins. I'm not going to have coins for a while, but still worth it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finished goods. I'm going to make finished goods a little bit bigger, I think. Maybe I won't make that yet, because I want that to be bigger. So let's actually unpause that, let them carve out some more. You can see now, some dwarves are dropping off bins. Each stockpile, if it can't hold barrels, like the food stockpiles, let's take a look at these. Food stockpiles hold barrels. Many other stockpiles, oh, I'm going the wrong way, hold bins, and bins are used to store all kinds of things. Alright, now that I've opened up some more space, let's go back to P. Go to G for finished goods. We're going to make this one twice as big. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can only do 4 here, so we'll actually do... let's do it that big. Because finished goods can be a lot of things. Back to P, and we're going to add a weapon stockpile. Can't forget weapons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and armor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's pretty much every stockpile in the game, which means that we'll always have somewhere for places or for items to go. Oh boy. What is all the red? I'm always really worried about red because red is blood. Go to A. It looks like nothing's really been fighting. Go to R. Yeah, okay, so R is reports, which is where combat reports go, but we've not had one. Now I have been getting, you press A to see announcements. I've not talked about this before, might as well talk about it now. A is where you go to see announcements. Anything that ever shows up at the bottom of the screen down here. Oops. Like autumn has come, it is raining. When workflow is doing or not doing something, it will show up here in this list. So cannot produce cage. I don't know why I can't make cages. You make cages at, I probably didn't even say this before, you make cages at workshops. Let's go to Z, to the status, look at the stocks, and search for cage. No? So for some reason I'm not making cages. I'm not sure why. So he's currently making a bin. Let's let him finish that, I suppose. I guess all the red is just things dying. Light grass, dark grass. Shrub. I'm not sure. It hasn't all been red before, has it? Have I just been not looking? There's no blood, though. It would tell you if there was blood, so for whatever reason, there's not. Alright, come on. What are you doing? Making more wooden bins. He's probably making bins because they're all getting moved down here. Well, some are getting moved down here. You can see our anvil. We have spare beds. Fiber threads, cloth threads, spare table, spare chair. Well, this is not going exactly as I was hoping. Let's see how our mechanisms are coming along. Looks like he's actively doing that right now. Yeah, he is. Let's actually go ahead and add a stockpile. We'll add a stone stockpile. We're going to add it just like before around this mechanism workshop, because mechanisms use stone. I don't think I said that either. Mechanisms use stone, and they always use one stone. A human outpost liaison. Okay, let's press A. A human outpost liaison, Cyril Abletalin from Atir Dakas has arrived. A caravan from Atir Dakas has arrived. Their wagons have bypassed your inaccessible site. The merchants need a trade depot to unload their goods. So I'm not quite ready to talk about trade. So I think what we will do is we will just let these humans pass us by. They will be back next year, so there's not a huge worry about that. But humans and dwarves and elves will arrive to trade with you. But I'm going to let that bypass me for now. I probably will talk about that the next time we have dwarves or humans or anybody come by. Alright. Those are all suspended. Let's just add a task to build a cage. And let's see what Coca. Let's see what Coca does with that. I'm very curious. Right now they're just moving a bunch of things down to my new stockpile, right? I had it all just sitting somewhere, and now they're all getting moved down in here. So we're waiting for Coca. I'll tell you what, let's actually go ahead and go to Dwarf Therapist. Turn off all of Mr. Coca's haulings. There we go. And commit that. The goal is to eventually have several people dedicated just to hauling, and dedicated just to pulling levers, and dedicated just to doing very specific things. But for now... Oh, here's Cyril. I am your liaison from the mountain homes. You're not a dwarf. You're not from mountain homes. What are you talking about? Who knows? Let's discuss your situation. And here he's just providing me information. The world is the same as ever. Yeah. Okay, let's press A to finish our conversation. And we can press A to begin discussing what we need. So here's a list of everything. So if you needed very specific things from the merchant, I didn't want to talk about this right now. Let's just skip this. Is there anything I really think I need to bring over? I don't think so. Metal bars, maybe? You know, seeds are always a good idea. So what I'm doing right here is I'm using plus and minus to move the big categories here. And then I'm using left and right arrow keys to adjust the priority of certain things in this list. So we're going to just bump this up a little. We'll do plump helmets a little higher since that's food. That's fine. We don't really need an anvil. We brought one with us. Weapons are always good. I wonder if we could do that. Let's just do a little bit of each. I do like short swords a lot. Let's just do that. Ammo, bolts. Sure, we'll do bolts. That's fine. We'll stop there. We'll stop there. Well then, we have finalized our import agreement. Feel free to look over the documents. This is just kind of what the chances are of new things, like the price, right, and whatnot. Prices will be higher because we need them, which is fine. Whatever. We don't really need to worry about it too much. Let's finish talking about the conversation. Whatever. This is the chance of stuff that they're going to bring. Again, we'll talk about that more later. Farewell, he says. I look forward to our meeting next year. Our fortunes rise and fall together. All right. Oh, we have kangaroos. Kangaroo does. Sweet. If I had a hunter, I would go kill them. But I do not. Anyway, there we go. We have some mechanisms. I always try to say mechanics being made. We have some mechanisms being made. There you go. You can see them right here in the furniture stockpile. Wow, we're already at 20 minutes. Man, this goes by so fast. Okay, so real fast, we're going to talk about traps. Traps are, as you can imagine, a item that you place down that, when stepped on, gets triggered. Did you build my cages? Let's go back. I think he built the cage. Let's go down and look at our stockpile. No, I don't see it. We're going to try to build a cage trap. That's one way that you can actually see. Another way is where you can go to the stocks. Hit tab. Tab? Yeah, tab. Press S, type in cage. I don't have any cages. For some reason, my worker refuses to build cages. I don't know what that's about. Coca has no job. Add cage. Now we can actually focus on this. Oh, is he doing it? He is building a cage. Still building a cage. I guess he did it. Alright, now let's try this. So we're going to press B. And we're going to find traps, which are here, capital T. And then here's a list of all the traps in the game. I'm going to go over them real quickly. Stonefall trap, pretty self-explanatory. You place a trap up on a stone up on a stick, and a dwarf, or not a dwarf, an enemy hits the stick, and the stone falls, hits him in the head, does some damage. Doesn't do too much. Usually takes 2 to 3 to actually kill or seriously harm someone. Weapon trap is a weapon trap. You have to have a weapon, you attach it to this trap, and I get, in my head, it like springs up out of the ground and like Indiana Jones style starts like spinning through the air, slicing up. Weapon traps are extremely potent. Levers turn traps and other things on and off. Pressure plates, as you can imagine, if a dwarf or another creature steps on a pressure plate, it activates whatever it's linked to. Cage trap, which I'm going to try to build right now. And then an upright spear/spike trap. In my head, these are like spears and spikes that kind of shoot up out of the ground. In a lot of video games, you have spears and spikes that kind of shoot up whenever somebody steps on them. I assume that's what that is. We're going to go to cage trap, and we're going to place it right. We're going to place it right here, I think. I've got a few mechanisms you can see right here. In order to build a cage trap, you need a mechanism. So I'm going to have, what was his name? And I got to remember these dwarves' names. Locke. Yes, we're going to have Locke building a lot of mechanisms to build these traps. I love using traps, so we're going to place one right here. And then we're going to press C, and we're going to build one here. Press C and build one here. Alright. Was I using... Yeah, that's alright. So we press Q on this. You can see it. You need the mechanic's job. So Locke is going to have to run up and build it. He's busy building mechanisms, mechanics, whatever they're called. Look, I know what they're called. Mechanisms. Alright, Locke, where you at, buddy? Let's go press Z. He's still building them. Well, let's do this. I want to at least show you the trap. I didn't mean for all the talk about the trade depot to happen. Let's suspend. There we go. And now, Locke is storing an item in the stockpile. No. Did you resume? Workflow. Don't do that. It is resuming. Okay, let's cancel. Nope. Cancel. Did I cancel it? It did. He's storing items again. And he's moving rocks. Locke, I hate to do it to you. Eventually, I'm gonna turn these off on so many dwarves. Eventually, nothing's ever gonna get moved. Eventually, usually what I do is like for migrant wave number 3, I do military. Migrant wave number 4 is like nothing but haulers. Because I tend to do this too often. Let's turn off his hauling so we can at least see him do something with the trap. There he is. He's going up to store things. There we go, dragging those super slow. I need more wheelbarrows probably. Although they don't really use those to store them, so. Oh, is he back to making them? Alright, I didn't want to do this. Lock, you've made me do it. Things don't always go as planned on here. Let's delete the limit. Shift X. Really delete the current constraint? Yes. There, so now we don't care about mechanisms being made. He should finish this one. And then stop. Okay. Okay. Here we go. What? No, why are you doing this? Cancel. Oh my goodness. Workflow, why? Okay, there's no workflow restraint. Oh, finally. Here we go. He's gonna run up, grab the mechanism. Oh, looks like there's a cage right there too. Sweet, willow cage. Yeah. Cages are made out of wood. You can make them out of stone eventually as well. So he's gonna run up. He's going to place the mechanism there, but he's not quite done yet. He's gonna run down and grab the cage. Oh, nope, he needs another mechanism. I guess he needs two. No, it looks like he's laying out all the mechanisms first. I don't know how these dwarves think. There we go. Now that he's added the mechanisms, he is loading the cage trap. So he should run down, grab that cage. Oh no, okay, looks like he probably grabbed one that was sitting right here already. Still loading. There you go, you can see he's dragging the cage trap. And he's done. So I think we have all three loaded. Yes, now he's gonna go drink. Good job, Locke. You've proved yourself worthy. Okay, so real quick, we'll talk about cage traps. When an enemy steps on a cage trap, he will trigger the trap and get trapped in the cage. And then a dwarf will come and haul him inside the cage to another part of the map, usually stored in the stockpile somewhere. From there, I can do whatever I want to. I can put him in an arena. I can have dwarves laugh and taunt him by putting him in their dining room. I can do a bunch of stuff with him. Not everything can be caught in cage traps. Things like titans. I think colossi, the really gigantic, huge guys, cannot be caught in traps either. But some things can. Some things you wouldn't expect, like dragons, can be caught in cage traps. So this is just a very quick and dirty defense to protect me. I'll talk more about invaders and traps and things like that in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button down below. Helps me out a ton, helps grow the channel, helps other people who are interested in learning about how to play Dwarf Fortress find this series as well. Remember, as always, if you want a dwarf named after you, let me know in the comments down below, and I will get one named after you very quickly. Thank you guys again for joining me. I'll see you next time.